Kijun telling Hajong to get mad is weird to me. Like, you literally chose the other girl. You just stood there and didn't stop her from leaving, right? You ran after the other girl and you didn't do anything, didn't say anything. And now you keep calling her. And then when you find out that she told the other girl the truth, Soran the truth, you're coming over here telling her to get mad. Like, and it's the same thing she said. What is there to get mad about? We were just faking, right? We were just acting.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another review on the Review Garden.
Normally, it's usually a time lapse that they're trying to show, with the haircuts. But pretty much, I think 3 people got different hairstyles, but it wasn't really a time lapse. It was just one day. Because she cut her hair herself because she was, mad about the whole situation, sad. Sung Hee got a haircut. And Sorang, she normally, her hair is normally curly, but this time around she's wearing it straight. And, no one is mentioning these or commenting on these changes in hairstyles. I'm guessing Hajong and, her company, well, not her company, but the place she works for was supposed to have an event at one of his hotel locations, right? So, which was very important for both sides. And he's in his feelings, and then he said something about acting, what kind of acting is taking place, and he doesn't want to work with her in the hotel with the stuff that's happening. It's like an intercultural event, something like that. And I'm like, why are you getting mad at her? This whole situation is your fault. It's his fault, because had he made a decision, about his feelings, it's almost like he's like, oh, you, like, she should be mad at him, or I don't know, but he's acting weird because she has a reason to be mad. And I mean, I'm guessing he has a reason to be mad too, but you made your decision and you didn't really tell her, your decision, that you chose her. So it's like, just like the other manager said, keep the personal and the business separate. And I also think too, he's mad at her because she's mad at him and that she doesn't want to talk to him. And I'm assuming that he was thinking that even though he made his decision, that she would still talk to him, But even in the beginning, you were like, for her to go away from you and never see each other again. But I guess in this one instant, when he's seeing her so much and she's just ignoring him, so he just doesn't like it. So he's being childish and is telling her, like, this project will no longer work. And his manager's like, you need to go apologize right now. And at some point, they need to show him as vulnerable, right? Show Kijun as vulnerable, because they have shown 2 instances. They've shown instances where Hajong and Yoonju were super vulnerable. Maybe vulnerable is not the word, but in Hajong's case, she went to the girl's house, even though he waited. He ran after Yoonjun, and she went to Yoonjun's house because he wasn't answering the phone. And in Yoonjun's case, she comes back and she's like, "Oh, I almost committed suicide when we broke up, and we have to be together. I couldn't find anyone better than you." And just saying all this thing to him. And it's like, well, when are we going to show him as being like that, And in Yoonjun's case, I feel like for me, I would have been happier if she came back and ignored him or was cold to Kijun, because when she left, she was like, she was going to find a better man than him. And she was going to be this. She was going to be that. She was going to be strong. And then just to come back 3 years later and be like, "I need you in my life. I can't survive without you." It's kind of... And I feel like he would have taken a better approach if she came back and said, that she's moved on versus that she needs him. And I want to go back a little bit. This is about the hairstyles that I mentioned earlier, with the 3 that you notice change their hairstyles in a day, is because in that day too, each of them went through something, and the hair change was kind of a cleanse for them in a way. Because, Sung-hee finally gave up on Yoonjun. Soreng found out that, Ha-jung knew about her husband's infidelity. And, Ha-jung was pretty much rejected in that moment. So it was a way to show that, something happened to them, and now it's time for a change. Towards the end of episode 9, Ki-jun pretty much told Yoonju that she should go back to Paris and that, she'll have a better life there, and that he likes someone. But then they also show you like Sung-hee was feeling some type of way about Ha-jung going on a blind date. And I'm like, does he like her, or is he just, because he was like, "You're really starting to look very desperate." And I'm like, what is this whole thing that's happening here? And then her and her father, so her father set her up on this blind date. And then he was like, oh, they would be in charge of the location. And then obviously the location that they choose is the World Hotel. And she's over here on this blind date, and Ki-jun walks up because he was meeting some other people as well in the same restaurant of the hotel. And she's over here, laughing very loud, acting like she's having a blast on this date. And it's just so awkward. And like, it is a little uncomfortable to watch. It's just like, oh my gosh, you're doing this on purpose and everybody can see that. And this man is like, what is going on here? The actual blind date dude. He's like, what is going on here? So the brother pretty much went to World Hotel, I'm guessing, to try to break up her date. But to make them both like the same girl again, I feel like is a bit too much. Because in the end, the brother Sung Hee, he's the one who keeps getting hurt because the brother Ki Jun is always the one that ends up with the girl. So to do that again, I don't know, it's weird and kind of unnecessary for the whole plot, you know, of a show. Like, I think it would have been better if they had just made him have a crush on someone else. Like, I don't know, maybe the girl who sings in the restaurant. I feel like that would have been better. See, this is why I was saying I would much rather Yoon Jun come back and be strong, because he told her he doesn't want to be with her, right? That he likes Hajong and that Hajong likes him back. But she is like, you're just being swayed right now because I wasn't here for 3 years. But now I'm here. So you're going to go back to the way you were. And she's like, how come I haven't changed, but you changed? The thing was, it wasn't like they made a pact 3 years ago that, they would meet back in 3 years. Hopefully the brother has gotten over it by then and they could just get back together. No. He broke up with you. You wanted to go to Paris. He broke up with you for the brother. You wanted to go to Paris. You decided on your own to come back in 3 years. And you wanted him to stay like in love with you. Like, it makes no sense, right? So that's what I'm saying. I would have much rather her come back stronger, because now he's like, okay, well, until you get over me, I'll just wait. So again, in this instant, he's still putting her needs, even though he's saying he doesn't want to be with her, but he's still putting her needs ahead of Ajung's need, right? Because earlier, Ajung said, I like you. Don't meet up with her. Don't do any of that. Why can't we just be together? And he's like, I made a promise. I'm like, what promise? I can't, I can't break her heart or something like that. And then he's like, would you still want to be with me if I wasn't doing that? And she's like, okay, maybe I'm crazy over here for telling you that I liked you and I wanted us to be together. So I'm like, it's like, you're still, even though you saying you don't want to be with her, you're still putting her needs ahead of the one you claim that you like. And until he breaks that, and that's what Manager Park was saying to him, like, make a decision. Stop playing around with both of them, because Yoon Jun went to go see Manager Park to try and get insight onto what he's going through, how's his relationship with Hajung. And she's like, why are you coming to me for? Is it because you're not confident about what you guys are going through? Like, and then, because Hajung is working with the hotel for the culture project, and so she's always going to be seeing him, right? So Yoon-ju kind of came and put Manager Park in the middle of this, and then Manager Park went and called him and like, yo, make a decision. Stop holding her hand in the hotel. And then like this doesn't make sense, right? So this is episode 10. He needs to pick one, and then let's continue the story. In these scenarios, it's always the audacity of the other girl for me. Okay? This man tells you he will wait until you're okay, to move on, right? And he doesn't want to be with you. And then she goes to his aunt and is like, she wants to start planning the wedding. And that, as the sooner, the better. And then she goes to Ha-jung wearing the old wedding ring and says that they're getting married. Her and Ki-jun are getting married. And she felt like she should tell her because Ha-jung told Ki-jun that, she liked him. And I'm like, why is this like a thing? And I've been saying this before, the person who needs to put an end to it is Ki-jun. You're letting all of this happen in the background, and then you're like, huh? Because she called him in the middle of his meeting, and it's funny that he picked up the phone, right? So, and she's yelling at him. Ha-jung is yelling at him, saying, why did you tell her? I told you to forget everything I told you. And you have Manager Park just give... It's the look that she gave him. Like, it's almost like, didn't I tell you to take care of this? So I'm just like, what the hell? So pretty much towards the end of episode 10, she was giving her presentation for pretty much what she's been working towards. So you had her boss there. You had a lot of different countries there. The president from China was also there too. And, he saw her, and her boss is like, well, he's the son of blah, blah, blah. And I never knew he was married. And he's like, are you married or not? And she said, yeah. And then Ki-jun comes and he's like, no, we're not married. And that's pretty much how it ends. But before she made that decision, on one side, it's about helping Ki-jun. And then on the other side, there's everything that, as long as you don't publicly announce it, you should be good. But, you're a civil servant. So be careful of gossiping that's going to come around with you specifically. So she might be in trouble with this whole mess. Matter of fact, both of them might be in trouble because the guy might feel like he was lied to, because he was. They actually didn't end up revealing the truth. She kept saying that she was married to him, and they went about their way. So the President Chen still thinks that they are married. Now moving on to Soran, when she saw that, when she saw her husband and Ha-jung together, she was pretty mad, and nothing really happened between them. She was sleeping, and then he creepily came up behind her and, was telling her about, oh, you got married to him. Don't worry, I'll be by your side. Even though you lied, I can help you. If you need help with anything, come to me. And she was like, yeah, don't worry about it. And then she almost fell, and he caught her, and that's when the girl walked in. Soran walked in, and she saw the two of them together. They didn't do anything, but the husband found it upon himself to be like, oh, the whole reason Hajong had to do this is because of you. She always cared about me, but you're always acting. And I'm like, what's the point of even saying that if you actually do care about your wife, right? So she posted something cryptic on social media, and the husband started crying because she went away, right? She just left. And even the friends came down to the police station to be like, she's normally not like this, but even that is making us feel some way. So he was like, find her. He was telling the cops to find her. Then she went to Jeju Island. So Hajong's job had an assignment going on there. So when she called Soran told her where she was. And so she was the one chosen by her job to go do that, right? And you could see Ki-jun came to help her out pretty much. And if you really look at it, without him being there, she wouldn't have been able to interact with them because they're VVIP people. So they're in the hotel that they decided to stay in. They don't just let anyone in there, which is why I'm a little shocked, because I didn't think they made that much money, Soran and her husband, that she was able to make a reservation there, right? So when Hajong called Soran, she was acting like she was suicidal. So she was like, oh, I see water in front of me, I might jump. She's like, the world is da, da, da. So then she pretended like she jumped in water, and that scared the hell out of Hajong, but only for Hajong to see her right in front of her. And, she didn't really try to do anything. She just jumped in the pool just to scare her. But her husband did end up coming to Jeju and to see her and make up, and which they did. And also, they showed you Sang-hee talking to Yoonju, and he told her where they were, and she went there. So when they were having their date night, and Ji-kun was pretty much telling Hajong that let's forget the past, let's start over. And she was like, let's take things slow, let me just make sure what you say is real, blah, blah, blah. And this girl was just standing there watching them. And, instead of communicating that with Ki-jun, she calls Hajong out and pretty much tells her, oh, the reason we broke up is because of Sang-hee. So we were just taking a break. I'm like, who was taking a break? You and this man did not go into a contract saying you were taking a break for 3 years. And again, you came back on your own. It wasn't like he called for you to come back. No, there was no time lapse on when you guys would break up. The only reason you came back is because your job suddenly had an opportunity in Korea, and then you came back home expecting everything to be the same, but it's not. And it's almost like she's doing it to get Hajong to go away, and then suddenly, he's gonna fall back in love with her. But I'm like, that's not how it works. If he comes back to you and he doesn't even like you, yeah, you may be feeling, because happy because you're with him, but he's not truly with you. I said this before, but seeing how much he is in pain again, I really wish Sang-hee's storyline was different. Because why are you making both brothers fall for another girl again? Fall for the same girl. And it's always Sang-hee that is like in torment. And this time around, he can't tell his brother that he likes Ha-jung, because you're just going to be causing the whole thing again. And the brother likes him, so he's just going to, But if he did do that, let's say Sang-hee did tell his brother that he likes Ha-jung, what? So that the brother can stop dating her, right? So then that would mean that originally he put Yoonju before Ha-jung, and then he's putting Sang-hee before Ha-jung. So it's like, what is this relationship, right? Like, what would this relationship be? It's almost like, so that storyline is just annoying to me. When Sang-hee got over Yoonju, they should have made him like someone else. Because the girl who's singing in the cafe, she's also looking for love, right? And he's always in the cafe. So why didn't they make those two, him have a crush on her, And then they're also doing the whole triangle with grown adults. The owner of the cafe with Ha-jung's dad and the person working in the cafe, right? He even went over to Ha-jung's dad's house to stay there while Ha-jung and the Madam Shim were having dinner. I mean, you guys, I can understand them. They're a little younger. She hasn't experienced love. The brothers have only loved one person. I can understand that. But those are full grown adults that are acting like children as well. Like, that's crazy. Ki-jun's aunt wants him to go back to Yoonju because of everything that went down with President Chen. So while they were, preparing to sign the contract, Ki-jun went and told President Chen that he lied and he's not married. So now President Chen doesn't want to do business with him, right? He doesn't want to talk to him. And now the only person who can help with the whole situation is Yoonju's, I think it's her stepfather, but it might be her father. I don't know. But he's the congressman, and he's the one who can help make the deal get better. So now, they're still talking about Yoonju and what's his name getting married. And, they're pushing for it too because she tried to kill herself. Like, because, Ki-jun came and he let her know that he wasn't interested in her and that he can't look at her that way, and he's in love with Ha-jung. So this girl couldn't take it, and yeah, she put herself in the hospital. But when they were supposed to have the meeting, he had to choose whether to go to the meeting or, go to his girlfriend. and he chose his girlfriend. His aunt tried to call him because, the meeting was happening and he did not show up. He was still at work. And she tried calling him and telling him, please do this for me. As the nephew I raised as my own, and that I can't have this hotel go to the other people. Da, da, da. And he, he pretty much, he feels conflicted because one, he's the one who put that problem, there, because he's the one who came out with the saying he lied. So now he needs to fix it. And I don't think he should fix it but he needs to fix it by going out with the girl. I mean, the aunt did say, I don't care what you do with her. You're the one who said don't mix business with personal, so get your butt over here. But he ended up not going to the meeting. He went to go see Ha-jung instead. And that was pretty much the end of episode 12. And this wraps up our journey on the Review Garden. Thank you for joining me today as we explored this drama. If you enjoyed this reaction and review, please remember to subscribe for more insightful videos. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback helps our channel grow. As always, I'm truly grateful for your support and for joining me on this journey on the Review Garden. Until next time, and happy listening. Bye.